Kyrie Irving, he understands the assignment. He understands what the Mavericks are trying to do this year, as the announcement was made that he is going to be out for the rest of the season. In a team statement, Kyrie said the decision wasn't easy, but it's the right one. I am grateful for the Mavs organization, my teammates, and our fans for their continued support throughout the process. I'm looking forward to coming back stronger next season. The belief and drive I have inside only grows. And he said, I want to send a huge shout out to all my brothers and sisters out there who have torn their ACL or gotten injured doing what they love to do every day. Thank you for the inspiration. No fear.
Dude, like the old shirts.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The hum of the pitch.
Were they the ones
the crack of the bat?
The no fear were like he who dies with the most toys.
Literally
wins.
doing one right now. The hum of the pitch, the crack of the bat.
Remember that
a
one.
Screaming line drive. Baseball is not an American pastime. Picnics are a pastime. No fear. Bottom of the ninth.
That's a lot to go on a shirt.
Oh, that's what it said. My teacher stopped me in the hallway one day and said, hey, I'll give you $50 if you can say that. What's on the back of your shirt? And I went through it, and she goes, you said isn't, not is not.
Oh, it was really a lesson about using contractions. So
she was an English teacher.
Okay.
Son of a bee.
So obviously, we all wish the best for Kyrie.
So he gets an A for this year.
But yeah, he gets an A.
A+.
An A+ for understanding the mission is to lose as many games as possible. Thank you, Kyrie, for going along with this plan. What would be the grade that you would give Cooper Flagg from the 972? Cooper Flagg gets an A+. Y'all, what would your grade be?
I don't know how you could give him any other grade than that. He took on a role that he was not built for in hopes of learning the system faster and learning the game at this level even faster, too, and that was being given the point guard role. Did the Mavericks hope that he could handle it and take off and be that guy? Of course.
Sure.
You'd love to have a guy with his size and his ability to be your point guard. And imagine this, too, Kevin. Imagine he's your point guard, and he could also defend point guards. And now the rest of your team you build around that way. It seems as if Canada just scored again.
No, Chechkia had a breakaway, and it got stopped.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry.
Imagine also, like, not only is he your point guard, but he defends the opposing point guard, and the rest of your team now has the length to be all those things, and you can surround him with shooters and all that. They would have loved that. However, they said, it's not quite working out, but now you understand the system, and he's better because of it. He knows the pockets to find his own scoring because of what Jason Kidd set up for him. He understands that. And I think that was part of the conversation when they sat down and talked about it. We're going to ask you to do this. It's going to help you in the long run. And it did. Well, on top of that, he's been every bit of the defender that we were told that he was going to be. We had low expectations offensively for his polish. Well, now he's like, I'll find my points, guys. Don't worry about that. And he does. So I don't know how you can give him anything other than an A+.
So just to your point, he averaged 18 points per game in November. In December, it jumped up to 23.5. In January, it was at 21. And then in limited February action, 27.3 points per game, with 46% shooting from three to go along with 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and the defensive prowess that you talked about. Mike Curtis did not give him an A+.
I get it.
He gave him an A. So that's still
Did anybody get an A+?
Pretty good. Nobody on this team got an A+ except for Kyrie, which we just said. But Najee Marshall and Max Christie got an A-. But for Cooper Flagg, Flagg's rookie year is on pace to go down as one of the best in NBA history. And I love the point that you brought up, Corey, is the question was, but how much offensive game does he have to be able to hang in this league? Here is his last 6 games scoring: 49, 34, 36, 32, 14, and 27.
What happened to that 27-point game?
And that 14-point game, honestly.
What are we doing here?
He had 4 straight games.
I heard 40 instead of 14.
Okay.
So.
He had that as the Canadian game is now going to overtime. But he had 4 straight games of 30-plus points. He set the Mavericks rookie scoring record. He just unbelievable opportunities. And so, I think A+ is where I would go as well. Although, Corey, this feels like you would like this one from the 601. If he gets an A+, there's no room for improvement. I'll say C+.
I like that.
Man, how much?
There is A++ is the room for improvement.
That is what the person from the 817 said. And so from the 940, an A+ has to carry a bad team to the playoffs for me. So they said definitely an A or an A- at worst. That's fascinating.
So, like LeBron's an A+ kind of vibe.
Yeah, and LeBron didn't make the playoffs his rookie season either. And of course, neither did Luka.
They got the number 1 overall pick because they were that poor.
Exactly. Now, the Mavericks weren't exactly the same, but why were the Mavericks going to be good this year? Because of the eventual return of Kyrie and Anthony Davis, right? So Anthony Davis didn't really play. He got traded. Kyrie going to be out for the rest of the season. But here is another reason I am super pumped about how good that Cooper Flagg, Max Christie, Najee Marshall have all been this year, because you've had other disappointments as well. Obviously, Derek Lively getting hurt. Daniel Gafford's been a massive disappointment this season, partially because of injuries, and obviously whenever he does get out on the court, it's been fairly underwhelming as well. But Najee Marshall, I think he's 28, and Max Christie is 23. So at least Max Christie is a younger player to keep rocking and rolling with Cooper, and Najee's kind of in that middle area. But the Dallas Mavericks right now have the 7th worst record in the NBA. I was looking at it, especially when you consider going into the All-Star break. Do you know how many straight the Mavericks had lost? 9.
Ooh.
They had lost, you're right. As a concept of a winning team, bleh. But as a concept of moving further down in the standings, I'm intrigued by this. So, the Mavericks have the 7th worst record in the NBA. They could easily get to the 6th worst record, but if they keep playing poorly, they could fall between 2nd and 4th.
I just got them the number 2 overall pick, Kevin.
Oh, in the lottery machine?
The first sim lottery on Tankathon that I hit got them at number 2. Now I got them at number 1. So
you know what I love about what just happened there, if you saw Corey's face? Because you did the same thing we all do, right? Is that simulator is real life. Mm-hmm. And so to you just actually got us the second pick, because we've all done that.
Yeah, I will also say this. So far I've gotten them to 1, 2, and 3. Did I have them at 7, 10, 14? Yes, I had them at other places a couple times too.
Don't worry about that.
But let's worry about the 1, 2, and 3 situations, because, Kevin, that would give us a player we want.
Now, why this is a big deal. You know about the big 3 in this draft. Darren Peterson, I guess, AJ DeBonsa, and Cameron Boozer. Now, look, Darren Peterson has immense talent. Does he have the want to? I don't know. You've probably heard Fred talk some about that.
Didn't he just post a gladiator picture on his Instagram?
Well, jump into the game when you got the flu, buddy. Michael Brown and Kingston Flemings are 2 straight up point guards that we've talked about, assuming you don't think Kyrie is going to be here. Now, if you do think Kyrie is going to be here, we can kind of change that idea, and then maybe you look in the direction of a Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson maybe kind of has that Jermaine O'Neal vibe going for him, and he's the player that some people think this is a big 4 draft. But
we not get Boozer the guy?
Okay, so
there's some question marks on Boozer still.
Okay, what do you think are the question marks about Cameron Boozer?
A little bit toughness.
Ooh, interesting. See, I have not heard
that. Was my question mark.
I think he is super, super tough. But here's the thing. The ceiling for Cameron Boozer throughout most of his career has been at a certain place, right? Whereas the ceiling for DeBonsa and Peterson is way freaking higher. And son of a gun, man, they went straight to overtime there. And Canada has scored. They're victorious in the quarterfinal round.
Thanks a lot, Chechnya.
It's not Nia, because this is a different deal. And some people say it's like Czechia.
Thanks a lot, guys.
So Canada was a 16-1 favorite going into this game. They were trailing with 7 minutes and change. They tied it up with about 3 minutes and change, and they have just won in overtime. So the number 1 seed moves on, and America, their game will get going against Sweden in a couple hours. They're the number 2 seed. But that would have been a massive upset right there.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, they're at this level for a reason. You know, like
Sure.
they're in that's winning a gritty game like that, though, Kevin, scares me a little bit. Now, obviously, the Crosby injury is a concern. We're got to figure out because he got drilled from what you said.
Oh, man. My just immediate reaction would be, I would be surprised if he plays in their next game.
But it's this is one of those, when you win a gritty game like that, you can go 2 ways. They win it coming back like that. It tells them they can do it.
Sure.
So you either just kind of rely on it, or you are like, no, that's never happening again. And that's what my concern is that they're going to be like, no, we can't let that happen again. And if I'm the coach, that's what I'm telling the guys in the locker room is, we did it. Let's not do that again, though.
Absolutely. Now, I wanted to go back to Boozer, because even his staunchest critics have kind of come around. All right, fine. He just produces and wins at every single level.
Yeah.
So right now, he's part of a Duke team that has 2 losses, and he's probably going to win National Player of the Year. And so he doesn't have the same ceiling of like a DeBonza, because I think DeBonza, I've said this before, I think he's a Tracy McGrady starter kit.
Okay.
For Darren Peterson, people might kind of think Cade Cunningham, some flashes of Devin Booker, not Darren Booker. And I know some people have compared his footwork to Kobe. Like, just the footwork, right? And so
Heart is really what matters.
I mean, it is. And the competitive vibe. If you can have the competitive vibe of Kobe, that feels like a elite trait. And so you could see how those comparisons would be higher than Cam Boozer. Like, one of the comps I saw was Al Horford, who's a damn good player.
Very fine player.
Not on the exact same level. But one of the things about Boozer is I think people are coming around. I think he'll be good straight away. I just don't know how much better he'll be. But the last player I thought that about was Luka. And guess what? He turned out to be as better as conceivably possible. But
so he's the next Luka.
I don't want that on the record.
All right.
But if you look at this draft, you can get into the top 3. You could have a franchise-changing player with Peterson, DeBonza, or Boozer. If you don't, you could have somebody who could fit perfectly with Caleb Wilson from North Carolina. If that doesn't work for you, you're going to move on from Kyrie and you want a point guard. Flemings and Brown are sitting there. So if you can stay even in this 7 range, maybe move up to 6, I think you can get a player that is going to be a hell of a partner for Cooper Flagg and Max Christie to go run with going forward.
The 817 is a Kansas fan. Peterson needs to be on the damn court more.
Look, you're right. I think it was Fred. I saw it on social media. I can only imagine the rant on the air. He had an opportunity for his flu game, and instead it was like, I don't know how hard I can go. And the coach was like, fine, don't play.
But do you need to do your flu game in college, or do you need to do it at the best moment?
No, you're right. But look up what the Texas Tech fans chanted at him. They chanted, he's a P.
What?
There's
not the people in Lubbock. They would never use a word like that.
I know. No college kids would talk like that. But there is some thought that, is he soft?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
He is not doing anything to dispel that.
From the 972, Kevin, if you don't want it on the record, you probably shouldn't say it on the radio. From the 817, Peterson and DeBonza seem like they have super mega star potential. Boozer, just a solid pro. Makes a couple all-stars, but not a plus tier superstar.
And I think that is a fair assessment. And that's the reason why he's 3, right? Who's the best player in college basketball right now? It's not Peterson, it's not DeBonza, it's Cameron Boozer. But that's the thought, is that, oh yeah, he can make a couple all-star teams. And then other people are like, I could see these other 2 changing franchises. So yeah, no, I definitely understand that thought about their ceilings. Absolutely.